Hello everyone, welcome to the Aspire for Impact seminars. This is our first seminar for FTC, which is Innovation Project and How to Inspire within the collaboration of 6 Impact Finalist teams, and we have 3 presenter Impact Finalist teams today. Before we begin, let's take a look at all of these reminders. So as you know, we hold this seminar every Sunday, even though we had to postpone it in the past few weeks at 2 p.m. EST. And just a quick reminder, these meetings are recorded and will be recording throughout the whole seminar. But however, we will stop the recording in the Q&A part. And we will be sharing these recordings in our YouTube and Instagram, like in our social media accounts. But no participant name will be displayed and your video will be displayed. However, if you ask any questions, like if you unmute yourself or if you like to ask any questions, however, through the chat box, your name and your video might be displayed. And speaking of questions, we'll be having a Q&A in the ending. So if you have any, please don't hesitate to ask because we are here to guide you. And yeah. So let's take a look at today's presenter teams. So let's start off with the 6429 fourth dimension. Hi everyone, I'm Jaren and we are 2022 and 2024 Impact finalist team. And this is my third year in the team and I'm the head of the awards and grants submitting sub team. Yeah.
Hi everyone, I'm Bora from Team 6429 fourth dimension, and this is my first year in first, and I am in the public relations and awards and grants sub-team. Yeah.
Hi
Hi
everyone,
everyone.
we're 3990, Tech for Kids, the 2024 Impact finalist, and it's my third year in first in the outreach team.
Thank you.
5614 2024 year finalists, and this is our first year here.
Thank you.
Second year in first. Yeah.
Welcome everyone. And we have 2 more presenters from 6429.
Yeah, I'm Ella. It's also my first year in fourth dimension, and I'm a member of PR and awards grants submission.
Hello, I'm Sarah. It's also my first year in fourth dimension. I'm a member of education and PM, also awards.
Okay. So let's take a look at today's subtopics, and a quick reminder, each subtopic was actually selected in the way that each FRC team feels the most confident at. So we have innovation project creation steps and like how to develop a effective brainstorming environments presented by fourth dimension, and we have judging presentation techniques and tips presented by Team Sycamore, and documentation techniques presented by Tech for Kids.
Okay, so to start with, what is an innovation project? Mainly, an innovation project starts with a problem. This problem can be about society, environment, or about anything in our daily lives. And after that, teams focus on doing their researches and analyzing all of the existing solutions. But after that comes the important question: how can we make it better? And I think that really is the core mindset of innovation. After that, these projects encourages team to work collaboratively with each other. They should share ideas, listen to different perspectives, and work together towards a common goal. And to reach this goal, they should think more human-centered. They should do their research about their topics, and they should really use their problem-solving skills. These projects empower students to think more creatively and act responsibly, and make them believe that even small teams can make a big difference towards future. Innovation projects not just prepare us for a competition, but also they prepare us for a better future. And I think that is really important to understand when making these projects.
So core stages of innovation projects. So before jumping into building robots or coding solutions, I think it's really important to understand that how innovation actually happens because at in FRC and FTC, it's not just about finding a cool idea or changing the old ideas into new ones randomly. So it's just about following a structured process, and the structured process has three parts to it. The first one is problem identification, the second one is research, and the third one is idea generation. So in the first part, the problem identification part, this is where everything starts. So you have to come up with a really good problem, uh, and find identifying your problem is actually the most critical stage of these three, because if you don't clearly come up with and understand the problem itself, even the best technical solution can completely miss the point. And once you identify your problem, it's time to research. So you need to explore your problem and you need to understand existing solutions, and you have to analyze constraints like cost, time, and resources, which are especially important. And the third stage is idea generation, which is just straight up creativity, because you have to generate as many possible solutions as you can. So you have to kind of brainstorm at this stage. And yeah. So let's take a closer look in the problem identification stage, because it's the most important and crucial of them all. So a strong problem exists in real life, so it shouldn't just be hypothetical or theoretical. So it shouldn't be made up for the competition. It should exist in real life, and it should also affect real people. So if no one is affected from this problem, then it's not suitable for like there's no reason to solve it, and it should be measurable and clearly defined. So you should be able to explain the problem using data or observation. So in other words, when you are identifying the problem, you should ask yourself these three questions. Who is affected? Why is this a problem? And how often does it occur? So once you are able to um, answer these three questions, I think you can perfectly execute the problem identification part.
So back when I did my innovation project in First Lego League, which is quite similar to the one in FTC, we followed these core principles. We started by defining the problem so we knew exactly what we were solving. We made it a priority to use multiple and reliable resources so we knew exactly what we were solving and what exactly we were like doing in order to solve those problems. Um, Perhaps like the most important one, in my opinion, is that we constantly questioned our assumptions to avoid bias and documented every small thing to build a reliable foundation for our final design. We can pass to the next slide. So once we had our research foundation, we moved into the brainstorming phase, which is one of my other favorites. It's important to understand that this is not just like throwing ideas into the wall. You should see it as a tool that does four main things in the project. First, it encourages creative solutions by creating a space. No idea is bad. It is just like a simple place that you can allow yourself to think outside the box. Secondly, it will help you identify risks and opportunities early on by talking through different scenarios. And thirdly, it like significantly improves your teamwork. It's the moment all your like different ideas combine into one. Finally, it just like leads to better planning. Once we've vetted our best ideas, we have a clear, organized roadmap for the rest of the project. And that's all I have to say.
Hello, we are Team Sycamore 5614. Today we're going to talk about judges' presentation technique. I'm Noga.
I'm Shelly.
And I'm Leah.
Okay, so first of all, you can pass the slide. First of all, we'll talk about the visual aids in the judging materials. Why do we even need to use visual aids? Okay, you can pass the slide. So the main goal is to catch and keep the judges' attention. Since judges meet many teams in a short amount of time, your goal is to make your team easy to understand, easy to follow, and easy to remember. And an effective visual aid can simplify complex information, highlight your team's strength and without the need for long explanations, and help your team stand out visually among many other teams. Powerful tools for showing data rather than just talking about it are graphs, labels, and models. They visually explain research processes, testing results, and the decision your team has made along the way. To use them effectively, it's important to choose the right format. Whether it's a graph, table, or a diagram, you need to choose based on the message you want to convey. And it's also very important to keep every visual clear and free of any unnecessary data. All axes, units, and conclusions should be clearly labeled so the message is immediately understandable. And always ask yourself whether the judges can understand it within a few seconds without any additional explanation. If a visual doesn't add clarity or understanding, it doesn't belong in your judging materials. Now, beyond the data and numbers, visuals can also tell your team's story by using photos and videos. These are very good, but only when they're used intentionally. When it comes to photos, fewer, larger, and clearer images are way more effective than many small ones. Every photo should have clear purpose and be placed next to the relevant category or explanation, rather than just appearing as a random collection. So try to avoid photo dumps, images where it's hard to understand what's happening, or photos that don't connect to the topic. The same principle applies also to videos. Include only the meaningful parts, cut out unclear or repetitive footage, and make sure every video connects directly to what you're explaining. And another very important part in the visual aids is the team branding and visual consistency. Using your team branding consistently across all your judging materials, whether it's your portfolio, presentation, or any handout you give to the judges, is essential for making your team instantly recognizable and memorable. Key branding elements include your team logo, team colors, and the consistent visual style. Effective branding helps judges connect oral materials to one team and creates professional, polished impression. So that way, whether they see your logo or colors, they immediately associate them with your team. So finally, use all the visual tools, the photos, the videos, the graphics, colors, and the layouts to emphasize your team's strengths and what makes you unique.
So now we'll talk about how to organize your content. So where to start? First of all, organizing your content is a key effort you can take to leave a good impression on the judges, because at the end, the judges are the ones that will decide if or which awards your team will be getting. First thing, go over the criteria. Only after going over them, you can start writing your presentation using keywords you found from the manual. Sometimes judges just really are looking for these keywords to really find if you're suitable for these awards. And moreover, since the people who are going with you to the judging room are the representatives of your team, it is vital to make sure the teammates from all STEM branches and aspects of your team are there. As soon as the question starts, it doesn't matter how well you remember the text. Sometimes judges ask questions that are unrelated to the awards, but related to the information you talked about. So if the judges ask something and there's no one to answer, it creates an awkward vibe, and the judges will think you don't know what you're talking about. Another important part of organizing your content is using the sandwich method. The sandwich method means that you should start with a strong point, preferably technical, an innovative design you've made, an impressive software you wrote, or an efficient way you use 3D modeling. Then go with the things that are more dull, that are important enough to answer criteria and actually make it to your presentation, but aren't exactly the kicker of your team. And then end with a strong and exciting project you've made that will make the judges crave for more information and will make them want to visit you in your repeat. The sandwich method was created to make sure that the judges stay interested and focused throughout the entire presentation.
When you're in,
How to answer a question. Let's go about how do you answer a question. This might be one of the most stressful parts of the judging experience, but you can go through it easily following the next steps. First, calm down, repeat, and talk. Calm down, repeat, talk is about first, calm down the judge. Instead of bluntly saying your answer, repeat your question, and only then you can give the answer. That way, you will also repeat the question and make it sit well in your mind. And sometimes you might even change your entire answer when you actually understand. And B, highlight your strengths. Recognize what are your team's strong points in each aspect, and that way, no matter what question you will get asked, you can lead the judge there. Just make sure it's not done too often about the same project so that judges won't get tired about hearing the same thing all over again.
you can pass a slide. When you enter in judging room, the first impression you create is just as important as the project you present. The judges notice not only what you say, but how you say it, through your behavior, teamwork, and confidence. To start, body language. Body language often speaks louder than words. Stand comfortably with good posture. Avoid hands behind your back or arm crossed. And maintain eye contact with the judges. A small smile can go a long way. Make sure to speak clearly and change the tone according to the sentence. Use your hands to illustrate ideas is a great way to present your project and robot, as long as it remains calm and not disturbing. Another important point is using your robot and judging material. Don't rely on verbal explanations. Show what you mean, point to parts of the robot. Demonstrate a mechanism or frame your engineering notebook, poster, or other materials helps the judges better understand your work. It also shows that you truly know your project. Just remember, those are the tools to support your explanation, not to replace it. Next, respectful posture and behavior. Always listen carefully to the judges' questions and let them finish before answering. Respond politely and thoughtfully, even if the question is a little bit challenging or unexpected. It's perfectly fine to ask the judges to repeat a question if you didn't hear it clearly, but try not to overuse it. Finally, and the most importantly, pay attention to your teammates. Judging is a team effort. Avoid talking over anyone. Give everyone a place to speak, and be aware of each other's body language. Support your teammates. If someone gets stuck, help them smoothly and respectfully. A positive team dynamic will leave a very strong impression on the judges. In the end, a successful judging is about combining knowledge, confidence, and respect, and teamwork. When you present yourself as a professional unit team, it truly makes all the difference.
So we're going to present you some methods and tips to have an effective documentation through your projects during the season. Can you go to the next slide, please? Why do we document? To save time. It helps find important information faster when developing your project's presentations through the season. It also helps calculate important statistics, like how many people you've reached through your social medias. It is even useful in future seasons to find information on past projects and initiatives, and most importantly, to not repeat the same mistakes. We recommend documenting as much as possible, but the main points that need to be present are statistics, any concrete initiative you've taken, important decisions, and your impact. How can you document? Have a secretary to take notes during meetings. It's easy to get carried away in discussion, but words aren't permanent until they are written down. You can have a shared drive with your team members, a meeting log, a grid document for members, section to put different documents for different projects. You can make sure to separate your team documents from your judge's presentation documents. Your team documents are just for you. They don't have to be pretty. They have to be clear and straight to the point. And take as many pictures as possible. When the time comes to build a presentation, you will regret not taking more pictures. Of course, these are all suggestions. It is up to you to find out what works best for your team. To keep your community updated, use social media to expand your reach and keep your followers updated on your progress. It is a great tool to use even for finding statistics at the end of the season. You can also create a sponsor newsletter. Your sponsors are the reason your team can thrive. They want to know how useful their investment is. Keep them updated on your progress and your work through a monthly newsletter, for example. That's it for us. We wish you a wonderful season and good luck with all your upcoming projects.